Look, what was that in Humawi? Your friend Agyapadie. So, me bacho, what they capture the eba me. Now my phone. Men can asembia infirmity. Sa Agyapadie. Ya say abusuakuo bi anatro. Kwan yo mo be fa so a Ghana Agyapadie nyina eba be di omo ne omo ma ene omo asefo ntem ensam. Etinipa otro forward anani wasan oforiata ewa ha. Now forward no. What they share the first paragraph. First paragraph.
Okay.
Was say to our future, made up of the present and the unborn, for whom this will, Agyapadie, of a nation is being prepared. So, was say a dachi, any nasitra yewum, any young kola, any nana kanswa young wo mono. Womo ana ye sa Agyapadie o mine Agyapadie e de ama omo. So what do you to me amase ye ma mesom. Obi se sa to me na de ma no. What the ye Agyapadie Ghana Agyapadie nyina de ma nasefo. And we are quiet. Now, what say to our foremost king of Oripeni, the progenies spread across this world, for whom and to whom alone this sacred document is prepared. Yes, I did when you know the share of Oripeni and Munyam. Ghana 40. Hey, Mumia careful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Paragraph 5.
Paragraph 5.
Was it currently with Nanado in total control of the whole entity of Ghana? We have a duty to ensure that we take over the commanding height of the essential fabric of the country, in order that even in the event that Nana leaves the scene after the mandatory 8 years, the sons and daughters of Ochimai will be firmly secured and such control both financially and economically that we can no longer be ignored in the battle to control the destiny of Ghana. Hey, Ghana for Muntio. Memmo example say this is not a fiction.
Actually, a planet.
And it's working. Working. In the forward na me more bibi. What's it? We free 5. Now about 7, paragraph 7.
6, 7, yeah.
What's it? In doing this, we need to be strategic. We will have to work with other people from some of the diverse ethnic groups, including some carefully selected people in Ashanti and other diverse ethnicities or land. This would make them believe that they also have a hand in the pie. It will be obscure. It will obscure any suspicion that the project is essentially an Oforupeni project. This point is crucial because with electoral politics, we have to have our eyes on the numbers in the electoral process. We cannot be blatant until we are completely secured in the endeavor. It is especially so because so far, the Ashantis constitute the single most populous ethnic groups in the country. So, it is for the young man, and I say, I'm according to Agagan. Paragraph 19 in your kind. Paragraph 9. Was it although the Ashanti group within the current MPP is gearing itself to take over the party after the next tenure in 2024? It will be ideal if we could work to bypass them in 2024. Now, with hard work, we could work to pass the mantle over to non-account person, preferably from the north, under whose presidency we could secure the maturity of our takeover projects. Where a prophecy in here. So being a trend down what church and say a fiction and you interest anybody or a prophet. And why a prophet?
A serious issue.
What say? Ashanti region, and that's Ashanti for our MPP party. Or more prepares on be take over. from Nana Akufo-Addo. Yeko primaries. Alan Chamantin from Ashanti.
Yeah.
Boacha Japo from Ashanti. Adainimo from Ashanti. Akutofiye from Ashanti. Kobna Japan from Ashanti. 5 people. 5. Out of 9 you say you know mokoye. Kojo Poko is for Abraka on 6.
Yeah.
So so wamu nyese wamu be bypass Ashanti region. Traditionally, Ashanti region is superb, very strong. Otunfo wo UK. Yamano kwan ye besoano in the palanquin. Ewo UK. Akwesida no kwakwedi no. Omo makwa ye besoano. Omo beji a whole street near group kete ne eyi. Ohini bia ni ho betima kwa yesa de no. It is a sadia. Then let's cut the Ashanti politically. It is a betima ye so a yampe obi a wo ye non-atam person. Yemfa mano. See that man go go pray be e na get. Hey, I'm gonna be back go pray be e na get am me. But we move ahead, preferably a person from the north.
They were
and then me no work as a MPP Frabera ofri.
No.
Ofri slim. O mo so sidi sa prophecy no abam. Look. Mame emma one day.
Na buku do chiro mu ma we die.
Buku we die mashada kan pa o.
Asa be bia wo pesa wo kan so wa chiro din agu ho. Se be ya wo hwa wo mere.
O mantra.
Na me pesa obi be wia, enti na ma chiro din.
Okay.
Wo wia pa wo bie ya no obi hu say media. So ne ete no. Hwe. Sa Labadi beach in Sensemu na Senate to na yenko. Any ade. Ayeden ana director general of Senate Dr. Tinkran ye nadi. Obi amwo hu ne ye nadi.
Debi. Letter no so timi se nipa o chore na bu afu pa.
Papa no ye na o me twa me hu wo America basisi a onya phone call as ye Galloway.
Proceed on leave.
Because now he was not in agreement on certain things. Now, share near Agyapadie Eka is talking about Mamima head in answer. It's talking about banking. Banking.
Okay, higher banking.
Banking or machichim, mother. Mother near Bank of Ghana. Biological children. Ghana indigenous banks.
Banks, no.
And they were adopted children. Adopted children hona mekono. Absa EcoBank yimuni ne gaida omo na adopted no. Now, on the adopted EcoBank, we have 2 routes of entry into the institution. First is through Senate, which has a seat on the board of EcoBank Ghana by virtue of its shareholding. The seat is occupied by the Director General of Senate. In phase 2 of our agenda, Kofi Bosompem Osafo-Maafo, who is a Deputy Director General of Senate, should be made the Director General to give him the seat on the EcoBank Ghana board.
To me. Hey.
On the EcoBank Ghana board. And now we can say, who is the Director General of Ghana Senate?
Bosompem.
What take his seat in all? Nyama besu. Nyama besu. Secondary. Papa we madam for me respecting no pandi. Ya born wife with him pesa me ko. Wo de ma me si ho no. Onya boku do bi na kan ya wa.
Wa be wo de wo mu.
Wo be de.
O pe say.
O kwa
anda bank. Wo be ku se ne sitie. Hwe eti yete ho no. Ama abusuanko baako. Eje Ghana Agyapadie nyina. So Capital Bank, pa e fa so e group akwasi Ndum Bank, ene ni atwere wa hase.
Nya no de wa ha. Eno de sa portion no makan.
Eno ne aye no hase no. Now, Uber under insurance, your mother, your biological, and you were adopted. So, now, why your mufaswa, ye pia SSC, SNJ. Near Kofa Enterprise Insurance, and non de ye bibia, Enterprise Insurance, one nura.
Cano for that.
Government a gibia. Ya fosu bia. One fanfa Enterprise Insurance, you are in trouble.
And as SIC near your mind, dear, and I am basa.
Jatu baby. Jatu baby. Hwe uko bank setter. Kwa ye faso ye data bank. And ye bibia loans aye jiji na ni ade. Nipa ebusuan ba ko pe. Ya no mu de ye Galloway for. Who can we ya? obeti MPP mbesori agina eba be defended this rot. Now what you want na wo bre. Yes say to our future, present and unborn.
To omo ye ade na se be omo ma omo nya wo omo mpo no omo mebre.
Okay ni na wia o partner will say Ghana has say this tribe is going to be the movers and shakers of Ghana.
Indeed.
It is a bibi bakoswa. Omo no kasape eno na obi abedi akire.
Obi abeti order from above.
O pesika dia ye bibi a eho na obeko ene ade. We are here. We are quiet. We benya obi no aba begina no wo defend it. Eish. I will not.
Na o man ni mu ayetimi aboka ma ye ka tia. Na ye pre carry forward.
Ye mo Ghana fama nipa baako. Ye nyina ye dia. Ye nyina ye dia. Hwe no de ba kwasi ndu. Ye no de no.
Atwra to dada.
Ye atwra to.
Ni din nyina wo.
Me pesa be kan ne honum no because of Sadi Wenti. So okay. Because of that enti me pesa me kan.
Ka me kra so me bebo. Yeah, mre.
Mami some example. What if you na ka say fictional? Then that writer we need to look for him. Now on prophesy on this country. Meaning, yeah, edin, we have a body natural. The writer no more boni do, Madame Fupa.
You are sure Agyapadie book no.
Madame Fupa, we have a body natural. As we are moving on, me body natural. What did your body din? What did the co-writers in the other? Eh? What more did you maybe assist or Monza? Well, the technical team led by DM Oforiata should further evaluate the following details in order to choose the appropriate site.
Galamsey.
Sure. According to this book, Omuwo 332 Galamsey companies. Nina, are you a? Okay. Womuni. Womuna Shishana. The Northern Gold Coast Enterprise. So and so. Amanfi East. Wasa Amanfi East. Ufa say Takwa in Shoyom Municipal. Just say every district they are there. Pristina in Zima East. Omachi chomu jinagum. Eti wane kacha say Galamsey betwazie. Wane kaza azam show. Se beti metu azie dia. Na che say esese abansi samba. O say o mama. Don't say o mama. Mami tro ade bako. Undermining oil and gas industries. What did he? Was it our mining as well as oil and gas strategies constitute a major plank of the blueprint for controlling the extraction of natural resources, which God has generously bestowed on Ghana, particularly the Achem land. Was it to this end? A cursory look at the approved concessions should be looked at, as Santi Bedietuo is to lead the process to take over this concession detail below and consolidate them into the standard Agyapa LLC incorporated in Jersey. Agyapa Ango Parliament. Sir, your minerals say you or moon about vegetable royalties in the Gaga. Adjenekesi. You're the BT Ghana. Now, on this note, I will salute the minority in Parliament.
Yeah, and the mom who ye ding, so a mom penny.
Share Agyapa LLC incorporated in Jersey. You call registered company no abrochiri. And you by the same rough be never be first one. What would you ever?
Oforiata.
There be
hey, as Antipadia too.
Was so or make sure. Says nobody in Akoso. And a Parliament. Parliament board Mugalawe. And yes, anka ye mineral resources a yibia wo mojijibia e kwabushamba bako. How can we live in a country like this? Eh? How can we live in a country like this? Ghana, baby, you go near you know, mamma pono honum kama no. Ah, I had you now, take over. I didn't see an as a state. Yes, Simbo Bianconco to Galamsey, a war, ye quiet. Now, man for whom, the intimate stop war. Do you know one strategy?
I didn't see I can't time the presidency in our two on the line.
Do you know the strategy? You bet you may you suggest 3 days. Your baby will be a miracle. I saw all the strategy about me. Said no.
Wow.
Na Ghana Armed Forces. Omo call no omo fly omo jet was rohonum. Near start to say spray kwa yedum how de be wura. Why de be wura kwa yedum?
Obi anwura ho.
Obi anwura ho. Aso yesi da bi. Yes ye boy kwa ye ho ban. Na abusuakuo bi according to this book.
Eti ade na eti say ya ye nunu ye ho ne because ye wia the taxpayers money near the ama operation the galam stop was a wine near sa de bo mo ho ka all in the name say yes stop it galam say you ntimi stop it.
Okay? Telecommunication. Allah say oba say digitalization betima koye no. Yes say low data. Low cost in data. Now we talk data 100 cities, any 3 days, NASA. How can you drive that? Ninji na no, ehun sam hihye ha. What you say? Bisa telcos, bisa omo. Me say ya munyusu RTI no, munyusu. Ehun fa no mo to omo yi, ene sen, eye den na sa pricing we ever. First na go munyina to no NCA. Fofofo. The first to data e check. Ya di nkrofobia be hihye mu. Eti no NCA Emma 1/3 omo na de 2/3 eti telcos no betima to kitwa bi ewo NCA na fa kese na no akwakoto no ba bi ono soso no be yes 3 times the price NCA de be ma eti ho na betua me ne wo na etua ekogu abusuan ba ko account mu na omo ache I don't know why
wickedness.
So there you know. Share. Me say the Paul trust that way. Or prophet o. A man for so be na share them no try no the to abonting. And I'm saying nipa na prophet. Listen. The political terrain. How do you know the political terrain? I don't want the party. African the Japan aba. Na fe Samuel Kudiso, Dombo do diso. Now mo the roaring factor aba. Other minor parties in the Kaka, religious and chieftaincy. Nti other smaller parties, you know, or more kasa you should understand. That should be a no more kasa no go. Ni na wa.
Achichira show manum. Na no ba ku bia mani tua no. Abo come say e na wo wani ambra wo power pa na wo kasa ti say obi a wo ye government spokesperson ni.
The cars bebre so.
Hey.
Enyo na aka na asemi. Ah. Nye the cars bebre.
Ai. Me say ana wo per president ni bia dia na say den. What's other the PR ama government. Almost so many say ha.
Omo sha say. Share. Oh, say I don't yeah, hand you over that.
Ewa ha.
Kroma. Yeah, you know Kroma. Mo hand you over. What the security for on yes on the DJ. Ade omuni ani, omuni adwene. Omo hu say obi e pep change. E change no. On bed Daniel Bumu a. Mo anga say ombo hu say. As we make final push for EC registration, it is sub IUA about 2019. It is important to roll out our final onslaught to ensure that NDC eventually become a fringe party. Whereas we do not expect the Electoral Commissioner herself to blatantly cripple the NDC, we could deploy the other non-EC functions, such as the need to maintain law and order. So using our people within the security agencies to frustrate NDC supporters from either registering or voting. Ano mabodi, Brechampon will be the key in this endeavor.
Until no so had you over. Also, I'm a brave you come say yabem. Because one of that done another day, they hand you over, hand you over. Would you how? We are some come say yabem.
Was it before then? We must have a critical evaluation of our strength and weakness in order to be well positioned for the task ahead. Now, the party, party. So, the youth and women's wing of our party remain our weakest link. Every effort must therefore be made to get our national organizer to fill in the gap. Same apply to getting Eslausu to assist the women's wing. Adiwe by 2019. 2020 elections. Esro Usuja Abrekuma West. No one nam Tolong, no one nam Borga Central, no one nam Wa, no one nam Babia. And yet never has it. We should assist the women's wing. Eti, the writer, the great prophet of our time, say a calculated plan. That's why no person a G2 say it's a fiction there. Now we the greatest prophet in our time. As a typical boyfriend. Because
they are doing the same thing.
No more catch a great Japan, Japan, above Adam. No more can some obey, say Alan, ever be take over. They should try and then bypass him. Yanko for being free enough. Abum. Bibio Muka book in Ubia, abum. Don't bother the American crown memo.
You are quite fast to tell me. Yes, a bit too. Yeah, too simple. Now, me Brian Mobo. Oh. What's your cognom no ada?
You're too so simple. Okay? Ma obia emphasize the way in diagro. Media obia who say a book muna make free. And I'm not the writer. And Ghana nipa bebre ekitasa the way I make. Et ye be biom, ye be Ghana for home. No mun take a wise decision. Because national cake, you know, a ye na yedia. Adenti. And as I say, ye. Now, the national situation as regard to the media landscape. Me babe king can baby actually. No one who said the Yama essay air cover. Me babe king can be. Hey, what can I do?
Oh, Tony,
what can I do?
Now, your projection, man, is see Pepe per se, the
Eslousu on closure of opposition media. We score Eslousu 70%. For her execution of the agenda to close down pro-NDC radio and television stations. Yeah. While we praise her for closing media entities such as Radio XYZ, Capital Radio, Muntie FM, and many more, she scored some low marks in the implementation of the strategy. We expected her to leave Radio Gold from the list for obvious tactical reasons. She could have waived their debt like she has done for our friendly stations, such as Ask FM in Kumasi. She could have been fired for the avoidable backlash in strategy, but for her long-standing role as Nane's protege.
Hey!
Phase 2. Tier phase 2. Phase 2 of media control. Was it there is no doubt that Joy 99.7 FM and the multimedia group will remain an industry leaders in the communication sphere of the country. While relying on them as a veritable ally, anti-MPP agenda by some of their staff does not pretend well to us. We were left with no choice but to have used our voice, in quote, to threaten Manasseh Azuri Awini, while his publication on the past inured to our political benefit. He has overstretched himself in his attempt to assume an air of neutrality. He was influential to our historic victory, but his constant attack on government, culminating into the militia documentary, was most unfortunate. Okay? Oka, some multimedia, omo lead in the airwaves. Awa hase. Na adwuma a omo yeye e de boa MPP mo ba victory no good. Na so some of the elements wo mu a omo akwakoye omo akwakoye anti government. Enti no omo sheda no omo use boys e de threaten Manasseh Azuri ebe mo na zama. Manasseh Azuri anyane akwankwo South Africa
boy de ho adwa.
Ni yeka that time na me hu we me say ebe de na sade we abam. Enya no kre sa na no kre pa. Sa na no kre. Enti se obi na tena ne dem church sade we. Ema no ba out 2019. Na after 2020 election, Samuel we nyina esisi a me say let us look for the person. let us look for that person. Oh, me boy, Mr. DM for that. I'm say or a co-writer. Or a madam for minimum. Now, Oshe, hijacking of GBC. Now, the judiciary and governance in Ghana. Yen party court. So that the next 20 years, they can be in control. I don't want to see nominating more people to Supreme Court. I don't want agenda in here.